philosophy would not be the same for every plant, like he says. And based on your controls philosophy, you are going to have different layers of protection. Doctor would choose to have his PSV before ruptured disc. You already have a ruptured disc before what? PSV. And that might be depending on the fluid you are dealing with. So depending on the process you are running, your safety features will be different and your control philosophies will be different. Don't worry, I have a background in automation. Okay, I think Mr. Steve, your question will go unanswered though. Or you come and answer by yourself. Okay, thanks everyone. If you're sure you are getting value, can you put your hands together for yourself, please? Great, great. So just a few announcements before I bring up Steve for his presentation. If you want to find out more about the Mobil brand of lubricants, we have some of their reps here. We have their distributors here as well. So if you want to get from the source for your organization, their reps are in the room. You can go to the back, meet them. Some of them would be outside. You can have that conversation with them because I know Steve will come and give us some fantastic news now. Secondly, you got emails regarding some opportunities that will be coming up. We have a partnership for 50 slots in the Road to Reliability program, right? The program is worth $1,495, but there's a 75% scholarship. Now note, it used to be 100% scholarship. The only reason it became 75 was when it was 100%, some people will get it and not what? Not use it. So they made it a 75% scholarship so that you can commit, and that commitment will make you go through it. So you are going to get an email later on for you to enroll. There are 50 slots for only those people affiliated with TMI, not general. 50 slots available. You'll be paying just over $300 instead of $1,495. So if you are one of those that value knowledge, when you get that link, get in quickly so that you are among those first 50 slots. Then the last announcement is some of you are interested in being certified in reliability. Some of you want to switch properly into the reliability career. Some of you don't know what next you should do in reliability. We have a reliability boot camp coming up. All you need to do is go to our desk outside and tell them you want to subscribe for the reliability boot camp program. We are going to be running it at 50% discount if you are interested and you subscribe now. And for those that want to get certified, the CMRP certification is one of the best you can start with on your journey. We have an online version that will be running, and those that have paid me money here before know. Online is $250,000. So if you're interested, you get to pay just $150K to get the training. If you allow this program to finish and then you start sending emails, please consider your consideration. I'll use Leke's word again. We'll fire you according like Donald Trump in this program, okay? So without much ado, let me bring in my very good friend, Steve. He's going to talk to us on our final presentation, lubrication management, key in promoting asset integrity. But first, let me use Leke's words again. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Show me you are alive now. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Steve.
Thank you. Well, I think the duty I have is to do a brief introduction of this topic because I'm trying to run away from your question the way you always ambush me. I'll bring in another gentleman, my colleague, to run the presentation. So, like he said, the topic is on good lubrication management, key in promoting asset reliability. And he can agree with me, a number of people that have spoken to us today alluded to the fact the word lubrication was used. So, and for me, good lubrication management starts when you see lubricant as a technical product. I've always said this in different fora. Sometimes we don't give lubricant the respect it deserves. You see it as any other thing. Not minding that when you get it wrong, either by a lubricant selection or application, you mess up the purpose of applying lubricant. So the moment you start seeing lubricants as a technical product, something like, the bearing, all those technical parts, then the respect lubricant deserves will come to mind, and then the application of lubricant will attain the desired level in terms of good lubrication management. So on that note, let me just do a quick introduction or definitions. Good enough, some of these words have been defined in the process of today's discussion. So I don't think I want to run the risk of trying to define them again. Quite a number of them have been defined. The only area remaining is for us to know the critical elements that constitute good lubrication management. And so on that note, I will invite somebody to come and talk to us more. So please, next slide. Next. You can see here we define lubrication simply as the control of friction and wear by the introduction of a lubricant between moving surfaces in contact. There must be moving surfaces, rotating equipment, for example. And the key thing here is the introduction of a lubricant. So the presence of a lubricant causes lubrication to take place. And lubrication is not just taking place. Good lubrication management entails other things. So lubricant present involves the need to procure it, the need when you procure it to store it, and in storing it, store it well, handle and dispense it the right way, and including monitoring the performance. We've been told about condition-based management by the last speaker. One of the condition-based management that is associated with lubrication is what we call use oil analysis. And if I tell you, a lot of us here knows what use oil analysis is all about. It's like you are sick. For you to go to get treatment, the right treatment, you must go through a medical lab test. Because if I'm manifesting heat or high temperature, it can be as a result of malaria, it can be as a result of any of them that shows that your body is becoming hot. You can't just start applying malaria treatment. It's when you go to a certified lab, they don't run a test and then let you know if it's typhoid fever, if it's malaria, and so on and so forth. That's what oil analysis does. It's a condition-based tool to help you manage your assets. So lubrication, therefore, involves every other thing that happens following the procurement and application of lubricant in machine to achieve the purpose of that application. Bearing in mind there are different grades of lubricant, you don't just buy any grade of lubricant and apply it when you require a different grade. So it's important to know why you are buying a lubricant. Next. So the mobile lubricant sales approach sees lubrication as everything from lubricant drum procurement to application to performance monitoring, strongly supported with engineering service programs to recorded improvements in production. And that's why we do business differently like other marketers. Many of you here, we've had one interaction with you or the other, not because you have bought our lubricant. When you buy from us, we try to follow up with you to know how you're applying the product. We work together as a team. And that's where the engineering service aspect of our function comes into play. We don't just give you lubricant and walk away. We've had instances where we visited so many plants, particularly the cement plants, where they are beginning to see the difference between our own approach to business to other marketers that will give you product. Possibly they don't pass beyond procurement. We were not interested in procurement. We go beyond procurement to work with you so that I can drive maximum value from that drum or mobile lubricant you bought. Maximum value in terms of effective use of that product, unleashing some of the engineering programs we have supporting you to apply the lubricant correctly, and at the end of the day, drive maximum value that top management sees in terms of savings, like I said in the morning. So a number of divisions have been given to assets. I don't want to go into that again. And a number of divisions have been given to the word reliability, which is the purpose why we are here. But I want to take the last definition, and I'm happy when my friend Adiolu was presenting, he used the word ROI. How many of us remembered? That's return on investment, which is the purpose. So for me, reliability is a measure of a machine's positive contributions to return on investment. And like I said in the morning, what the MD of every company sees, what is interested is the bottom line. That's what he's interested in. If he can justify applying that money to procure anything, he's interested in knowing what will come out of it. If a company is not making profit, it's not making profit. So the interest is the profit, the capability of that company to make profit. And that's what every positive management is interested in. Next. Therefore, this takes us to lubrication management, which focuses on the concept of lubrication and its management across the entire value chain. This involves the utilization of lubricants, the application of lubricant in industrial machines, including other associated activities arising from that application to promote machines' performance, to promote machines' reliability in the production processes. You know, in terms of management issues such as getting the right packages of lubricants, the right storage of packaged products, adopting the right product handling and dispensing, establishing and implementing a lubrication control system, engaging in products performance monitoring, control of potential lubrication issues, and documenting improvements. I said in the morning, if we work with you, sometimes the first interest we take, if you show interest in any of our engineering support program, is to see maintenance records. If you don't have maintenance records, it's difficult to monitor what we are doing, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is to document on a yearly basis that which we have been able to save working with you. And like I said, when you help your company to drop your maintenance costs and save some money, the recognition comes to you, not me. Because I'm not working with your company to get promotion. You don't pay me salary. The salary you pay me is through the product you buy from me. But the immediate recognition will come to you. So once this is clearly defined and we've not had any issues working collaboratively with some maintenance teams or maintenance engineers, as the case may be, to document that which they save the company. So it's important that these management issues are looked at in good lubrication management. Next. So before I invite my colleague Felix to explain the details of this, there's a critical question that needs to be addressed. What does a good lubrication management entails in the overall desire to promote asset liability? And then these are listed. It involves plant lubrication study. And then when you do that study, you make recommendations. There was one of the assets of ExxonMobil some years ago being managed by Total. I don't want to mention it. Adiolu knows what I'm saying. The time Total was leaving the platform and handing it over to, it's a 7-star asset. If you visit there, I don't want to go home again. Beautiful place. They handed it and over flooded the place with their product. And they can't tell management because it's not a mobile lubricant, it's Total. They should throw it away. It's cost. Remember, you're managing cost. We spent some weeks in that asset to do some product conversion in terms of compatibility studies, product name by product name, so that if you're able to do that compatibility studies and come up with the knowledge of those of them that are compatible with the mobile product you are recommending, you can start topping up with mobile. So in that way, it helps. Again, you can come to a plant that is not using your product. The only way that gives you the entry behavior into that plant is to do that number one, plant lubrication study. You must do it. Doing it gives you an idea of the varieties of equipment in use, lubrication points in that equipment, what the OEM has said when it comes to lubricant to be used in each unit of the equipment, and then what are the conditions surrounding the performance, the working conditions of that equipment, because the working conditions differ. And what is the age? As the equipment gets age, the lubricant you are using can be upgraded. You know, every day new lubricants come into play based on technologies of new equipment. Particularly now we have what we call engine downsizing. The oil holes in most internal combustion equipment are becoming smaller. So it's not what you used many years back you use now. So the lubricant too, the viscosity is thinning out. And that's why I've seen a lot of W lubricants flooding the market because of the engine downsizing that is taking place. So there are a lot you need to know that will help you in managing good lubrication management. Others are correct lubricant ordering, proper storage and handling. And I think on this note, I need to invite my colleague, Felix, to take over and explain this more for us in detail. Thank you for your attention. Felix Nalo, please come.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, Mr. C, for the opportunity. I'm going to start from where you stop. We start with the lubricant study. We don't like to use the word audit because if you use the word audit in the plant, the guys in the plant will think you are coming to fight them. The cooperation will be watered down. Whatever you want to do, don't pass the plant. Whereas the recommendation and the appraisal and everything is theirs. So when we do audit, a number of things comes to mind. What are we actually looking for? You have a system that is leaking. Every drop of oil, maybe in every 5 seconds or 1 minute, there's a drop of oil. What would that drop of oil amount to in 1 hour? What will it amount to in 24 hours if it's a continuous running plant? What will it amount to in 1 month? A number of things comes to mind. So when we do plant audit, please, next slide. Let's take it slide wise. Next slide, please. So when we do plant study, we tend to look out for the suffering points in the plant. When we say suffering points, we mean those areas, the assets. We mean those areas the plant is suffering, the machine is suffering, the human being is suffering. The greatest of the problem in plant lubrication and management is the psychological suffering that people go through. Whether we like to say it or not, that's the biggest of the problem. A demoralized workforce will always have a machine that's always breaking down, whichever way you want to see it. So if we have a plant where we have issues of leakages, functional failures and whatever failures of whatever degree, like the doc was saying earlier, and we don't have that approach to handle them very well, it gets to affect the mindset plant for some time, there's a gray area that a number of people have not been able to understand. And that's this quarrel between operation and maintenance. The maintenance man likes to take an orange, the operation man likes to take an apple. Can you make the operation who likes apple to like orange? Can you make the maintenance man who likes apple or orange to like your apple? Have a compromise. The quarrel between maintenance and operation is a very critical one, and that's one of the reasons we don't have a reliable plant. They are always fighting. Operation wants the equipment to be there, while production, whichever case applies to you. Maintenance want to maintain, production want the plant running. So until we get to a compromise, we can't achieve anything. So when we do plant study, we tend to align these two guys together. We get along with the production, we get along with the maintenance guy, so we can have a compromise and understand ourselves. Now, in doing plant study, we tend to understand what are the operational factors that are likely to change. You meet a situation on ground, Oga, why are you doing this? There's no better explanation why he or she is doing that. So when we do plant studies, it's a holistic thing. We look at the asset, we look at what the equipment builder have recommended, we look at what is up. Okay, yesterday I had a session with some guys who are, incidentally, they are here. Equipment that is designed to work in Europe cannot work